Hello everybody, I'd like to start this video by first wishing you all a happy new year, and I hope you all have a better 2021, because let's be honest, 2020, it was a little bit shit, wasn't it? Welcome back to episode 6 of Into the Future. We are in the year 2140 now, so that's 120 years from the start date. So with that being said, let's go and take a look at the English League. So we left the 100-year special episode with Manchester City becoming the champions again. But as we can see, Newcastle finished second. Derby and Watford, their usual dominance lately. Well, I say dominance because they finished third, so it's not really dominant, but you know what I'm saying. They've done really well at Watford, Derby, Watford. And then Southampton surprised us. So as I scroll up, let's see if we've got any more surprise teams winning the Premier League. So we've got Liverpool, Newcastle, there we go. That's a surprise one. I don't think they've ever won the Premier League. Not as the Premier League, anyway. And then Southampton went on to win another title. Newcastle then got it back. City, Newcastle now with 3. Derby, Watford put the names in the hat once more. And then City, Newcastle once more. Watford, Man City, and then Brighton. Brighton have won the Premier League. And then Derby again, Watford, Derby, and then Man City for the last 3 years. So we've got a couple new teams added themselves into the Hall of Fame for the Premier League, that being Newcastle and Brighton. And even here we can see that Crystal Palace finished second in the 35-36 season. And Derby have been finishing second a few times and third a fair amount of times as well. But it's interesting to see the teams that who you would have thought would have won the league a lot, aka Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham, sort of things like that. They're hardly to be seen really. It's either Man City, Southampton, Derby, Watford, Brighton, or Newcastle lately. So interesting. Let's go and take a look at the FA Cup. We left the last episode with Watford. They were the current champions at the end of episode 5. So let's have a look as we scroll up, see if there's any other teams that have won the FA Cup that's out of the blue kind of thing. So we've got Newcastle, there we go, once again. Southampton, Manchester City, Newcastle back-to-back. Watford, Derby, Brighton again, winning trophies. Chelsea, Arsenal, Watford, Man City, Tottenham, Brighton again. Chelsea, back-to-back, Southampton, Man City, Tottenham, and then last of all, Man City are the current champions of the FA Cup at the moment. Again, so there's some teams there that are really surprising us. Brighton's, winning. Obviously, Watford and Derby, like we said, we now know. Newcastle, even Southampton got themselves a couple more trophies. Because, as you might have noticed in the last few episodes, Southampton are a Champions League winning team, as are Watford, and I believe Derby as well are. Time to check out the Carabao Cup. Southampton were the last winners of the Carabao Cup in the last episode. So as we scroll up, we can see who the new champions of the Carabao Cup. Did I say Carling Cup a minute ago? If I did, I meant Carabao. So let's scroll up. So Newcastle, Liverpool, Newcastle, Brighton, Southampton. Those teams have been winning trophies in the last 20 years. They're doing really well. Crystal Palace in the 26-27 season beat Liverpool. Watford, Tottenham, Derby, Palace again won the Carabao Cup. Then it went to Tottenham, Aston Villa. They had a good spell of success. I think it was in the 40s to 60s season when James Milner was in charge. They won European titles, the league, FA Cup, Carabao Cups, the lot. So it's good to see them back to winning something at least. It's been quite a while for them. Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle, Derby, Palace once more, and then Watford, and the current champions of the Carabao Cup is Newcastle. He beat Chelsea. It's now time to check out La Liga. In the last episode, Valencia were the last champions. So they broke up a spell of dominance of Barcelona and Real Madrid, consistently winning. So let's see if Valencia have been able to keep their performances up and prevent either Real Madrid or Barcelona winning the titles. I doubt it, but it's worth a look. So straight off the bat, we can see Real Madrid won it, then Barcelona for 5 years in a row. Then Valencia did actually go and then beat Barcelona, their 4 titles in a row even. Then Barcelona got it back and then went on a spell of 5 in a row. Then Valencia, 2 in a row. Barcelona back on a dominant spell and have been ever since the 33-34 season. So since then, Barcelona have won every single year. Runners up have been a mixture of teams, which is Atletico Madrid, Valencia, Real Madrid, and Sevilla finished second when Valencia won the league that year. So it's good to see Valencia still upsetting the odds a little bit and getting themselves a few titles, but Real Madrid haven't won it since the 21 season, so cause concern for them. I'm wondering if they've changed their manager a few times in that spell. They probably have, knowing Real Madrid is quite cutthroat there, so they need a man who's capable of winning some La Ligas, because at the moment it's just staying in Valencia and Barcelona. Let's head over to France, see if Paris' dominance is still strong. Olympique Lyonnais in the last episode were the last team to win the Ligue 1 Uber Eats Championship. So as we scroll up, we're going to see if any other teams such as Saint Etienne have managed to grab another title, or is it purely Paris, or is it even Monaco? They used to be a powerhouse in France, but as we see at the moment, they've hardly won. So let's go forward. So straight after Lyon won the league, Paris would gain their title. They did that for 2 years before Olympique Lyon then won the French league back-to-back themselves. And then Paris went on a spell for 5 years before Nice in the 29-30 season went on to win the league. Then back to Paris, who've consistently won here since the 2130/31 season all the way up to the present day. So although Lyon and Nice had a little spell of winning a couple of leagues between them, Paris' dominance over the past 20 years has been second to none. Good mention here actually for Reims, who finished second, Toulouse, Angers, and even like Red Star FC, who finished third in the last couple of few seasons. That's good to see. So hopefully they're a team on the rise, and hopefully we'll see them win the French league soon. Now let's head over to Germany. Bayern Munich were the champions in the last season, the last episode, and it has been pretty consistent throughout for them, and also Dortmund, who have been winning the championship quite a lot as well. So we're going to skip forward and see if it's a toss-up between Dortmund and Bayern Munich once again. So here we go. So the first season in episode 6, Bayern Munich all the way here until the 30-31 season. Dortmund stopped their pattern of finishing second and won the league. Then Bayern Munich won again for 4 years on the trot before Dortmund separated that in 35/36. Munich 2 in a row, Dortmund, and then Bayern Munich back in the last season of 39 and 40. So in second spot, there's been no real change. It's either Munich or Dortmund, one way or the other, winning the league, and the other one finishing second. In the third place spots, we can see Hertha Berlin have got themselves in a fair amount of times, Wolfsburg a couple of times, and even Freiburg at least 4 times. So it looks like Bayer Leverkusen and Leipzig, who've won the league a few times themselves in this future series, have dropped off the pace a little bit. It's now time to head over to Italy to see who's winning the Serie A. Inter Milan were the last team to win the Serie A as we left the last episode. So as we scroll up, let's see if there's any other teams that are new teams that won it, because there's been a spell of dominance between different teams. Napoli had a spell, Lazio, Juventus had a little title, and then Roma had a spell, followed by Juventus getting one back, and then Lazio's had 3 years on the trot, and Inter have had 3 years on the trot. So as we scroll up, let's see if any other teams are getting themselves some Italian glory. So Juventus separated once again, and then Inter have gone on a spell for 5 years. Then their local rivals AC Milan win it to separate, and then Inter win it back. Then Juventus in the 28-29 season. Milan and then got themselves back-to-back titles from the 29 season to the 31 season. Then Inter Milan 4 years on the trot. Juventus 3 years on the trot, and then lastly Inter Milan have won the league back to back, so they are the current champions as it stands. So second place is usual candidates, Juventus have had a lot of second place finishes, and then Inter Milan also have had quite a fair amount of second place finishes. Any noticeable teams? Torino finished third in the 36-37 season. But other than that, it's I'd say a normal business in the Italian league. Now let's go and take a look at the Champions League. The last champions were Bayern Munich, who won in the 19/20 season. But as we were saying about the English league, we've got a few teams here, such as Southampton, who'd won it in the previous episode, along with Watford, and even Derby. Yeah, Derby had won the Champions League as well. So we're 20 years ahead of the 21/20 season. Let's see who's been winning the Champions League. So it went to Barcelona the year after Munich won it, and they beat Man City. Then Munich, wow, they won it 5 times in a row to assert their dominance in the Champions League. The Barcelona managed to grab themselves one back before it heads back to Germany. Barcelona bring it back to Spain, then Juventus pop their noses in and win the Champions League. Derby in the 2130 season beat Bayern Munich. Then Porto are Champions League winners once again, who beat Wolfsburg. That's a new team that's got to a final. Then it went back to Germany for 3 years for Bayern Munich. Then Juventus, and then Paris 2 years in a row, and then Manchester United, and then Paris are the current champions, who beat Derby in the Zinedine Zidane Arena in the 2139/40 season. Now it's time to check out who's been winning the Europa League. Zenit St. Petersburg beat Porto at Villa Park in the last episode of the Euro Cup/Europa League. But we can see, there's been quite a variety of teams winning the Europa League, from, Liverpool, Bilbao, Wolfsburg, Roma, Arsenal. These 3 teams which were in the last few episodes. Universitatea Craiova, Ferencváros, I love saying those teams' names, and Molde. So let's have a look in the next 20 years to see if we've got any other new teams winning the Europa League. So as we go up, Bayern Munich beat Watford. Then Watford managed to get to the final again, and this time they beat Southampton at Celtic Park. Liverpool then beat Southampton, poor Southampton, losing 2 finals in a row. Atletico Madrid then went on to beat Valencia in a Spanish match. And then Brighton beat Nice in the 24-25 season. Valencia then beat Aston Villa. Then it went to Dortmund, and then into Portugal for Porto. Then Watford brought it back to England, and SC Freiburg from Germany have got themselves a Europa League championship, and they beat Real Madrid. And then Manchester United beat Torino, and then Freiburg once again have won the Europa League, this time beating AC Milan. Then Liverpool, Real Madrid, Brighton beat Chelsea. Besiktas beat Leipzig, and then Chelsea, Manchester City, Real Madrid, Tottenham. Yes, and Tottenham, the last one, are the current champions of the Europa League. They beat Chelsea at the Hrazdan Stadium in Armenia. Now it's time to turn our attention to the international scene. Let's see who's been winning the FIFA World Cup. So with the way the episode in the last video ended, that the last World Cup would have been in 2118, and that was Brazil who won the World Cup in South Africa, so to say. So as we scroll forward, we'll see who's won the World Cup since then. So Brazil retained the World Cup, and they beat Spain in Japan. Then Italy went on to beat France in England. 3rd place Ivory Coast, honourable mention there for them. Then in the 2130 season, we can see Spain beat Italy in Brazil. Then 34, Spain beat Italy once again, this time in Australia. Then Italy finally got their World Cup win again. They beat Chile in Germany. That was the last World Cup of this episode. Can't go any further because we're in the 40 season. The next one's in 42. So England's spell of little dominance there. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 there in just this screen since 2034. 8 World Cups had a spell of dominance, but they haven't had for the last 20 odd years or so. So the English football scene has gone down in the pecking order in terms of international football, at least anyway. Now let's go and have a look at the European Championships. Spain were the last team to win the European Championship, Football Championship, and they beat Germany when the competition was held in France, and that was the 21-20 season. Then Portugal beat France in Spain. Then Spain went on to beat Scotland in Switzerland, Austria. Scotland get into European Football Championship final in 2128. Fair play to them. Then Italy beat Spain in Holland/Belgium. Then Denmark have got themselves European glory. They beat Germany in Italy. And finally, Spain beat the Germans in Ukraine/Poland. So with all the competitions being looked at for this episode, let's go and have a look who the most expensive players are. So as we can see here, it looks like the French Football League is the nation that has the most expensive players. Even just the the top 6 players in the world all belong in France, and 5 of them being at Paris. So with that being said, number 1 is Isa Kanu, who's a Nigerian rated at 95 million, who plays for Paris Saint-Germain. Let's check out his profile. So he's a attacking right midfielder. He's got 103 caps for Nigeria and scored 66 goals. And I'm just looking at this graph here. You can tell how talented he is. He's a pacey winger. He's very physical. His vision's excellent, and he's really technical. You can just look at the numbers here as well. There's a lot of 18s, quite a lot of 18s. 20 agility and balance 19 and stamina 19. He's a very pacey winger by the looks of things. I wonder if he's any relation to Nwankwo Kanu, who used to play for Arsenal. Somehow doubt it, but you never know. The second most expensive player also plays for Paris. He is a 28-year-old Danish midfielder/striker rated at 92 million, and his name is Bo Sorensen. As we can see here, he is a striker. He's got 105 caps and 81 goals. That's a brilliant turnaround. That's really good, actually. Again, just looking at the graph here, well-rounded striker. Again, high numbers of stats, 20 composure. He's a fast forward, 18 acceleration, stamina 16, pace 16, agility 19. So I think Paris are probably the team to be beaten at the moment, because they've got, so many expensive players in their squad right now. But lastly, we're going to have a look at João Alfonso, who is a Frenchman rated at 91 million, who's 28 years old. And he plays his football for Nice. So we can see here, he plays on the wing. So we can see his vision, speed and physicality is pretty good. He's rated at 91 million. He's got 80 caps and scored 23 goals for his national team. Let's have a quick look to see who he's played for as well in his career. So he's actually Nice through and through. He started off in Nice 2, that's probably like their academy team. He was loaned out to Rennes briefly, and has been at Nice ever since, really. Played a lot of football. In his early days, it took him a while to get his foot in the door, but he's played a lot of football. Just a quick one, I forgot to show you who Kanu and Sorensen have played for in the past as well. So let's have a quick look at Sorensen. Sorensen started his career at Freiburg. They've won themselves some European glory lately, and he was bought by Paris in the 35/36 season for 95 million. And Kanu started his career in the Porto B team, and he flicked between the Porto A team and the B team, quite frequently actually between these seasons, before he was eventually bought by Manchester City for 36 million. Then Manchester United made an exactly 100 million profit by selling him to Paris for 136 million. As we mentioned before, the Premier League is the only league that we have running on this save, just as we simulate throughout the season. So we're going to have a quick look to see if there's any noticeable new teams in the Premier League, or if there's any teams missing. Let's have a look. So as we have a look at the Premier League, there is a team that's popped out at me straight away. That team is Port Vale. Port Vale are in the Premier League at the moment. And Hull, obviously, they've been in the Premier League a fair amount of times themselves, but we haven't seen them in the Premier League circuit for quite some time. As I pop down the league, we can see some teams that we wouldn't expect, such as Leicester, Premier League champions, West Ham, potentially Everton are in the Championship. Wolves have been relegated once again. And if we pop down to League One, are there any big teams popping up at us? Sheffield United, I guess you would consider them a big team because they're currently in the Premier League right now. Okay, this is 120 years later, but still. Even Swansea struggling. And finally, League Two. Are there any big teams down here that really surprises us? I mean, Preston, they've been a championship team for quite a while. They find themselves in League Two at the moment. No, I believe other than that, it's normal business except the teams that we've mentioned. If you made it this far into the video, I'd really like to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode.